today's Bhagavath Katha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vesamidnamini. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vesamidnamini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I pay my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. I make many praises and also express all my gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for giving all of us a golden opportunity to go back to Godhead. All goes to Srila Prabhupada for his wonderful devotional services to Srimati Radharani and Lord Gopinath. Please tell loudly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In Bhagavath Katha, which is of 12 cantos, we are doing the first canto, 5th chapter. Today we are going ahead with 22nd verse. Vyasa Bhagavan, he has compiled the Bhagavatham complete in 12 cantos. In the beginning, after completing the writing of Mahabharata, 18 Puranas and Upapuranas, Vyasa Bhagavan felt that something is lacking for the glorification of the God. So he went, as advised by Narada Maharishi, he started writing Srimad Bhagavatham. He has completed in the beginning introductions. At that time, he still felt that the Bhagavatham is because in the future Kali Yuga time, people will be less intelligent, and for them to understand, it would be very difficult if he compiles the Bhagavatham in a highly language. So for that reason, he was feeling sad at that time. Narada Maharishi appeared before him and inquiring about his sadness. When he told about the Bhagavatham compilation, he said, "You are the Sarvagna, you are all knowledge, you know everything, but you need to make certain vividly for the easy understanding of the people." So, like that he started advising Vyasa Bhagavan. Both Vyasa Bhagavan himself is the incarnation of Krishna, as well as Narada Maharishi is also part of the incarnation of Krishna himself. So I shall repeat this verse 3 times. Please tell along with me. I will tell this verse slowly. Please repeat with me 3 times. Later I do the narration. Idam hi pumsa. Please tell loudly. Idam hi pumsa tapasa krutasya va svistasya suktasya cha buddhihi datayoho avichito artaha kavibihi nirupito yad uttama shloka gunavarnanam. Idam hi pumsa tapasaha sruttasya va svistasya suktasya cha buddhi datayoho avichito artaha kavibihi nirupito yad uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Idam hi pumsa tapasa sruttasya va svistasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayoho avichyato artaha kavibihi nirupito yad uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Idam hi pumsaha tapasatu sutasya va sustasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayoho avichyato artaha kavibihi nirupito yad uttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. The word-to-word meaning of this verse is idam, means this. He certainly, pumsaha of everyone, if tapasa by dint of austerities and shrutasya by dint of study of the Vedas, va or svitasya sacrifice, suptasya spiritual education, cha and buddhihi culture of knowledge, dattayoho charity, avichitaha infallible, arthaha interest, kavibihi by the recognized learned person, nirupitaha concluded, yet what uttama shloka, the Lord who is described by choice poetry, gunana anavarnan description of the transcendental qualities of. The learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Here, everybody is having the intelligence. It's not that nobody is having intelligence. See, in this Kali Yuga time, there are many, we have so many qualifications, whether in scientific this thing or engineering or medical, legal, everything. But that education is not limited. That is only very limited knowledge. It's not that if a PhD is there, he is proficient in everything. He is in particular subject is proficient, but other is not sufficient. The person, real intelligence is to have the knowledge of the scriptures, of Vedas, Shastras, Puranas, epics and all those things. Like Mahabharata and Ramayana, Bhagavatham and those things. So, positively, that is the only advancement of knowledge. Otherwise, you have a number of doctorates, that is not at all a knowledge at all, not at all an advancement. Only in this materialistic world, that is given some valuable, but otherwise spiritually they do not help any person, any individual. So, and austerities of Vedas, sacrifice, we have to do. Sacrifice means what? It's not that you need to renunciate, come and sit in some ashrama or the temple as a monk, sannyasa. That is not the sacrifice. You need to do your karma. You need to do your karma, but with all trust in the God, and you are doing all actions for the purpose of the God. For the purpose of the God. You are serving every individual. I am not saying only human beings, all living beings, serving everyone you are doing. Like that you need to do. Human intellect is developed for advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. They are all advancement only for this material purpose. Otherwise, spiritual advancement is not at all there. And it's all about your tamasic guna only, rajasic and tamasic guna. One should have sattvic guna to advance in the spiritual knowledge. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life, because one need to get out of this life cycle of birth and death. For that purpose, you need to have spiritual knowledge. And this perfection of life culminates in the realization of the Supreme Being. Who is the Supreme Being? That is, we need to know. That is Vishnu. Supreme Being is Vishnu. Vishnu means, the meaning of Vishnu is he is sarvayapi, he is spread all over. He is everywhere in the universe. So like that he is known as Vishnu. There is no difference between Vishnu, Krishna, Narayana and all those things. Narayana means, Nara means all living beings. All living beings are dependent upon this Ayana. Ayana means all are dependent upon him. So he is known as Narayana. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Again, for the service of the Lord Vishnu means it is not that you need to just come and sweep it's not that you should not sweep the temple. You should sweep the temple, you should clean the temple. That is also part of your devotion. But at the same time, when you help all the living beings in their livelihood, that is the devotion. Whether he is a devotee of God or devotee of some devata or is a atheist, whatever it is. Because Paramatma is residing in every living being. Not only human beings, in all animals, insects, everywhere he is existing. So doing, helping them, taking care of everyone in this universe, that is the devotion to service. And unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand the culmination of perfection of self-relations. Depends on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, which is transient and miserable. Here we are all attracted by this Rajasic and Tamasic gunas available in the nature. There is also other one that is Satvika, but we don't go. We are very much attached to the Rajasic gunas and Tamasic gunas because we will have happiness, but we don't. Though we know that it is temporary happiness, we long for it. We long to enjoy the happiness, whatever it is, whether it is for the short term or a little more. But it cannot be permanent happiness. Our permanent happiness is only when we do the devotion service and go back to Godhead. That is our original home. There only we get the eternal happiness and it is everlasting. Those who are entrapped by the Vishnu Maya utilize advanced acknowledgement for sense enjoyment, but they don't understand that this happiness is only very temporary. Again we will be having sufferings also. It's like a life cycle, it will, one after the other it will be coming and going, suffering and enjoyment. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize this advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyment. See, Narada Maharshi has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an emanation from the Lord out of his different energies. There are two different energies mainly, internal energy and external energy. Or whatever you are finding it is just because of external energy of the Supreme Lord. And all these are, whatever materials available you are seeing, whatever your visible is there, all these are the emanations from the Krishna Paramatma himself. That is the Vishnu Maya. And Narada Maharshi is explaining about this, that all these paraphernalia is in the common use but the emanation of the Lord. And Lord has set in motion by his inconceivable energy the actions and reactions of the created manifestations. See, if you do any action, there will be immediately some reactions also will be there. You just simply hit somebody, he won't keep quiet. He will return he will also hit you back. Not only that one, in whatever actions you do, whether good things or bad things, for every action there is a reaction. That is the result. And they have come to be out of his energy, the rest of his energy, and after annihilation they merge in him. Now, because all this have been emanated during the time of creation of all these universes, during annihilation, all these universes, not only just this earth and living beings on this earth, but all the Akhilakota Brahmanda universes, they are annihilated, they enter into the stomach of Udara of the Krishna Paramatma, who at that time, during the annihilation, he will be sleeping in the cradle, hanged to a banyan tree, on a banyan leaf. So, even the first living being, that is Radharani, she is also, during annihilation, she will enter into the Krishna Paramatma. Again, during the creation, she is the first jiva to be created. He is the first jiva to be created. So, nothing is therefore different from him. But at the same time, the Lord is always different from them. Here it is, there might be confusion that when I am saying that He is not different from all the living beings. At the same time, he is different from living beings. Because we as living beings, we are very much attached to the nature and its qualities. And we are doing our karma to enjoy this temporary happiness and also undergo the sufferings. Whereas for Krishna Paramatma, all these things are not there. Whatever sins and punya, what we are doing, it only for us, but not for Krishna. He does not have any attachment. Though he has taken the avatar as a human form in Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara, it was only to exhibit his pastimes and leelas and to kill the demons, to save sadhu people. Sadhu means not just people wearing saffron, all good people, whether they are wearing saffron or not, to save all the good people from the evil people. He takes the avatars. And even during those human forms, he was never attached to any tamasic or rajasic characters of the nature. Therefore, the personality of Godhead and his transcendental name, fame, glory, etc. are all non-different from him. And because whether you say Krishna, Rama, Narasimha, all are non-different. That means they are not at all different. Only between us, the living beings, and Krishna it is different. But his name, fame, glory, everything is non-different from him. Even the Bhagavatham is considered as a form of God. Mahabharata is considered a form of God. In the form, God is having 8 to 10 different forms. He is having Acharu, Vigraha, that is what we are worshipping. This is called Acharupa, Vigraha Rupa. And he is also the form of Dvani. Dvani means what I am telling. This Dvani is also the Krishna Paramatma himself. And at the same time the scriptures, whether it is Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puranas, all these spiritual scriptures are also the form of a God. So they are all non-different from the original Supreme God. Therefore, all the sages and devotees of Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely applied in service of the Lord. So whatever present degrees what are having, see for example a doctor is there. Doctor, he should utilize his qualified knowledge for the purpose of helping all the living beings. A veterinary doctor should help animals, birds, other things, whereas the human regular doctor, he should see the health of the human beings who are just the creation of God. Like that, he should take care of their health. And the lawyers, they need to do the justice for the needy. They should always support and help a needy who has done nothing wrong but is suffering from innocent crimes. And engineers, they should help in building the various things required for the purpose of living human beings, for their necessities. Like that, everything, whatever any person does, he should treat the karma, what he is doing, as a service to God. The fiction writers, poets, celebrated literatures are generally engaged in writing sensuous subjects. But if they turn towards the service of Lord, they can describe the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Valmiki was a great poet. And similarly Vysadeva is a great writer. And both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in generating the transcendental activities of Lord. And by doing so have become immortal. They are there. It's not that Valmiki is not there and Vysadeva is not there. Wherever Mahabharata and Bhagavatam discourse is going on, wherever, not only in this temple, wherever in throughout the world, wherever this discourse is going on about the Mahabharata, 18 Puranas, Upapuranas and Bhagavatham, at that place Vyasa Bhagwan is there, where we can't see him through these present naked eyes. For that, to see the Vyasadeva, we need divine vision. Similarly, wherever Ramayana discourse is going on, Valmiki is also present. So they are immortal. Similarly, science and philosophy also should be applied in the service of Lord. Whatever engineering people are doing or scientists are doing, they should try to do all their activities for the purpose of devotion. In devotion service, they should execute. And there is no use presenting dry speculative theories for sense gratification, philosophy and science. They should be engaged to establish the glory of Lord. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science, and therefore a great scientist should endeavor to prove the existence of Lord on scientific basis. Many scientists also agree that this Earth is not only the planet, there are many planets. They agree that Venus planet, Mars, so many planets they are there, and they also say that it's not one Milky Way ocean. There are many millions of Milky Way oceans, and all of them are created from, they say, black hole theory. They don't agree that this has come from God. They say it is all the universes are created from a black hole. How can all the universes with so many living beings can be created by just a small black hole? They do not consider that it is Krishna who is creating everything. So scientists should prove that the existence of Lord on scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculations should be utilized to establish the supreme truth as truth as sentient and all-powerful. Similarly, all other branches of knowledge should always be engaged in service of God. It is not just scientists and engineers or poets. It is for every individual. Every individual, he should be engaged in the service of the Lord, using all his whatever knowledge he has gained earlier. So he needs to use his knowledge in the service of God. In the Bhagavatham, in the Bhagavad Gita, also the same is affirmed. This Bhagavad Gita need to be completely, we have to full faith in Bhagavad Gita, because it is directly spoken by the Supreme Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the first day of the Mahabharata Kurukshetra war. So we need to trust the Bhagavad Gita, which is directly spoken by God. In that Bhagavad Gita also, it is same thing is affirmed. All knowledge not engaged in the service of Lord is nothing but it's a nuisance. It's a nuisance. It does not have any value at all. Today, people are earning out of the present materialistic qualifications. They are earning a lot, but that's all a nuisance. It's not at all a service to the God, and it's not the real knowledge. Real utilization of advanced knowledge is to establish the glories of the Lord. And that is the real import. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of the Lord and all similar activities are all factually Hari Kirtana or glorification of the Lord. In this Kali Yuga, our lifetime is very short. It's just 100 years, which was about a lakh of years in Satya Yuga, about 10,000 years in Treta Yuga, 1,000 years in Dwapara Yuga. But as the Dharma following has come down from 100% in Satya Yuga to 75% in Treta Yuga and 50% in Kali Yuga, in the Dwapara Yuga. In Kali Yuga it is only, Dharma is, they say it is only 25%, 75% is Adharma. But my mind says it is today 99% is Adharma is going on. 99% Adharma is going on. Nobody is following the Dharma path. We'll go into the next verse, that is 23rd verse. Please repeat with me. I'll tell slowly. I'll tell the sloka slowly. Ham purata bhave abhavam mune dasyasya tu kastyashchana veda vadinam nirupito palaka eva yoginam susrusane pravarsi nirviksatam aham puratita bhave abhavam muni dasyasya tu kaschayashchana veda vadinam nirupito balaka eva yogina sussusane pravarse yavasigatam aham puratita bhave abhavam mune dasyasya tu kaschachana veda vadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam susrusane pravasi niviksitam aham puratita bhave abhavam muni dasyasya kaschachana veda vadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam susrusane pravasi niviksitam. The word-to-word meaning of this verse is aham means I, pura formerly, atita bhave in the previous millennium, that is yuga. In English we are saying millennium, it is previous yuga. Abhavam became muni, O muni, dasyasya of the maid servant, tu, but kaschachana, certain, vedavadinam of the followers of Vedanta, nirupita, engaged, balakaha, boy servant, eva, only, yoginam of the devotees, sussusane, in service of pravasi, during the 4 months of rainy season, niriksitam, living together. This 4 months of rainy season, that is starting from July till October, it is a rainy season generally. So it is called as Chaturmasya. O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of certain maidservant engaged in the service of Brahmanas. Here now, Narada Maharshi is narrating his earlier birth. He remembers that one also. He has the memory of his earlier birth. He is telling about his previous birth to Vysadeva Bhagavan, Vyasa Maharshi. O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of certain maidservant and engaged in the service of Brahmanas who were following the principles of Vedanta. When they were living together during the 4 months of rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. See, here I do not know, for the last, only to divide and rule. Britishers have made a wrong preaching that untouchability which was also accepted by Mahatma Gandhi unnecessarily. That is not at all true. This is about the earlier birth life of Narada Maharshi. He is telling. He himself is telling, see, I was a son of a certain maidservant. Maidservant means a person who is engaged in our homes for cleaning, grooming and all those things. That's the maidservant. He was the son of such maidservant, and that maidservant was engaged in the service of Brahmanas. She was working in the Brahmanas family and as a maidservant. At that time, during the 4 months of rainy season, that is Chaturmasa period, that is the auspicious period. During that period, this maidservant's boy was in personal service to the Brahman. That means there was no untouchability. This was in previous yugas, not in the present yugas. Previous yugas, it was not at all not there. And only this was just simply created to divide us and rule. This is Narada Maharshi himself is confirming. The wonder of the atmosphere surcharged with the devotional service of Lord is briefly described herein by Sri Narada Muni. He was the son of the most insignificant parentage. Because maidservants, they are from a lower class, Shudra caste. But he was not properly educated, and still, because his complete energy was engaged in service of Lord, he became the immortal sage. He has no birth and death. He is there always, he moves from one planet to other planet just by taking the name of Narayana. He does not have any knowledge, but still he is an immortal state. Such is the powerful action of devotional service. Even in Mahabharata, 3 days back I told that doing the service to the Pratyaksha Devata. Who are Pratyaksha Devata? Our parents. Our parents are Pratyaksha Devatas on the earth. They can speak to us, they can take care of us, they are taking care of us during our childhood. So they are all Pratyaksha Devatas. By doing that service, the Dharmavyada, who is a meat seller, who cuts meat and sells it, he had all the knowledge of scriptures, as well as he had the divine vision. He has the divine vision just by doing the service of God. Similarly, this Narada, he was in service of Lord by doing service to the Brahmins who were sages. And like that, he got a divine power. He is always eternal, always being happy, eternal, and moves one universe to other universe also, one planet to other planet. So the living entities are in the marginal energy of the Lord, and therefore they are meant for being properly utilized in the transcendental loving service of God. When this is not done so, one situation is called Maya. When we are not doing the service of God, but otherwise when we are attached to the materialistic qualities and just enjoying the present temporary happiness and sufferings, that means we are in the Maya, we are in the illusion state. Therefore, the illusion of the Maya is at once dissipated as soon as one's full energy is converted into the service of Lord instead of the sense enjoyment. We should always try to do all our karma in the service of God. You do your karma, you need not stop it. Whatever karma you are doing, you do. Whether you are working with somebody or you are having your own business, you follow the same thing. But everything you do in the service of God, like that, you being attracted to this temporary happiness and suffering will immediately change into devotional service. From the personal example of Narada Muni in his previous birth, it is clear that service of Lord begins with the service of Lord's bona fide servants. Narada Muni clearly told that he was in the service of sages. Serving the sages was also a devotional service because those sages were the servants of God. They were doing this service to the God. For that reason, when you service them, that also will be a devotional service. One should therefore choose a bona fide servant of the Lord constantly engaged in service. Accept such a servant as a spiritual master and engage himself in his spiritual master's service. Such a spiritual master is transparent medium. See, again, you cannot accept everyone as in the schools and colleges who are there. They are not gurus or acharyas. They are just teachers, upadhyayas. They give us the literary education, what is required in this materialistic world. They are just still pushing us into the different professions which are not meant for any spiritual advancement. Of course, for our living purpose, we need to learn those things and also execute those jobs for our living purpose. But at the same time, if you utilize the same thing in the service of God, you will be very happy and you will get eternal happiness. Utilization of the human energy in the service of Lord is the progressive path of salvation. We need to attain salvation because we cannot just take life after life, birth after birth, death after. See, once we take birth, we are going to die. That is sure. Dying is inevitable. You cannot. No individual can avoid it. Whether it is animal or human being, no individual can avoid it. They have to die. So instead of when we are living, whatever energy we are utilizing, that should be meant for the devotional service. In the name of the God, you perform all your services. The whole cosmic creation becomes at once identical with the Lord. When everyone, not only a few individuals, when everyone turns out like that, the entire cosmic will turn out to be identical with the Lord. And the service to the Lord should be under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, because we do not know how to worship or how to do the devotional service properly. So under a proper spiritual master, one should execute all the karma as a devotional service to God. The expert spiritual master knows the art of utilizing everything to glorify the Lord. Only the spiritual master, he can advise how to utilize your qualifications for the purpose of the service of the God. And therefore, under his guidance, the whole world can be turned into the spiritual abode by the divine grace of Lord's servant. Again, spiritual master, he is also one of the servant. He is a servant to the God. So, under his guidance, when we perform all our regular activities, then we will, everyone in the world turn out to be a devotee. And like that, the whole world can be turned into a spiritual abode. And because we have taken many births in our earlier birth, before taking the birth as a human being, we have taken many births, lakhs of births, not one or two. And as animals, birds, insects, trees, like that. It's not that we had a human birth also. Maybe we had. And only the present human form is given with intelligence by the God's grace and kindness. Thinking that we will all go back to his abode, which is our original home. For going there, we need to remember God. Because at the end of our life, we do not know in what state we will be there. Whether we will be active or inactive, in coma stage or handicap stage, we do not know. And it might happen on the spot death also in an accident. So, since we do not know how our life comes to an end, we need to remember God every second while doing our karma. I'll tell you about 20 years back, one person who was going on a two-wheeler bike. Just he crossed this signal here. He was going towards railway Nilayam side, that side. A eagle. The eagle's food is snakes. Somewhere it caught some snake and it was flying in the high sky. So accidentally it left the snake from its mouth. It came and fallen that individual person around his neck. Immediately he died. On the spot he died. There was no one to help him like that. It has happened about 20 years back here on this main road. Like that, I've seen so many other cases also. Death comes suddenly also, we do not know. For that reason, we need to remember God. At the end of our life, whatever remember that particular life we are going to take next. We might think about some animal or about some individual. So, like that it happens. And again, that human, if you are thinking about your human form, some human form, whether your parents or children or your other spouse, it's not that you are going to get immediately another human life. You might get a little later, but in between, whatever papa you have committed, you definitely, everybody will be committing papa and punya. So if you, whatever punya you committed, you go to higher planets, enjoy there, and as long as and when it diminishes, you come back and take some other animal form or insect form based on your papa. Like that will be birth after birth, it is going to take place. Also you are going to enjoy maybe some temporary happiness, but at the same time you will suffer also a lot. In animal life, it's only suffering is there, not enjoyment. They don't enjoy at all. What is there for them to enjoy? They don't enjoy anything, they will be suffering only. We human beings only have this happiness and enjoyment because we are misutilizing our intelligence. So Rama and Krishna, they have incarnated, Supreme Lord has incarnated Rama and Krishna in human forms so that they wanted to put everybody in Dharma way and they worship the God. But unfortunately only few people have followed them, and many of them they have not followed. Many of them they thought Rama is a Uttama Purusha. So that's the reason he's called a Purushottama. And Krishna, because he exhibited a lot of mystical activities during his childhood, they thought he's some magic boy, magician-like boy with some super powers, with some power, but Devana knew that he is the supreme God. So Krishna himself, then he thought, now the enjoying time is going to be Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga people are less intelligent, they can't understand the God and they will never believe in God. So I will take a birth as a devotee, and he has taken the devotee's birth about 600 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has given us the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with the instruction to chant 64 rounds. 64 rounds on the chanting beat. Chanting beat will be having 108 this thing that Prabhu is having, you can see, or this Mataji is also having chanting beat that contains 108 beats. I don't know how many rounds they are doing, but they are doing. So you can carry the chanting bag anywhere. Also, if you are new to this chanting, you start for initial 30 days, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least one round. And that too, initially you need only about 15 minutes for one round. Thereafter, once you practice it, it takes only 6 to 8 minutes for one round. You chant one round at home, remaining rounds you can do while driving a bike or traveling with bus or car, whatever it is. You can chant with beads or without beads. Preferably with beads is better. Like that you try to improve your chanting. So like that you can remember God. And we need to glorify the God in 4 ways to remember Him. One is whatever you read from the scriptures or participate in such satsang, as soon as you go home or when you meet your friend or relatives, you can discuss about this glorification of God. And by helping others and training them in this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can do. And you yourself chanting like that, in many ways we have to chant. So now concluding for now, we shall chant Hare Krishna Mantra loudly 10 times and disperse for now. Because why I am telling now means evening we have Mahabharata, there also some narrations will be there. You please take part. Every Tuesday to Friday, during the morning it's Bhagavatham, and in the evening it is Tuesday, Wednesday Mahabharata, and Thursday is Ramayana. Evening time it is in Hindi, morning Bhagavata is in English. If anybody does not understand this language, it can be translated into Telugu and Hindi language also. So please now chant Hare Krishna Mantra loudly 10 times, then we shall disperse for now. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Please tell loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Swasti Pragya Parivayantyam Nyayena Margena Mahim Meishaha Go Brahmashvastu Nityam Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasendrubhya Buddhyatpate Svabhavat Karomi Yadyat Parasmai Narayana Sarpayami Sri Vanasham Sarvam Sri Krishna Mangalam Nitya Mangalam. Jai Sri Radha Vipnath ki, Jai Sri Jagannath Baldar Subramai ki, Jai Sri Nasing Bhagwan ki, Jai Sri Prayas Maharaj ki, Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Jai Sri Panchatattva ki, Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Jai Sri Bhagavatham Granth ki, Jai Sri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Jai Sri Prabhupada ki, Hare Krishna.